When my wife and I separated, I made a decision that most business owners would never make. I actually told my team everything. And instead of my business falling apart, something really unexpected happened. And here is that story. So around 5 months ago, I took the decision to tell my team I'm living in the office because my wife and I decided to separate. I was afraid of telling them that because I didn't know what their reaction would be. Would they lose confidence? Would they start searching for new jobs? Also, I wasn't sure what would happen with our clients, me being in that vulnerable position. But there was something I was even more afraid of, and that was them sensing something is off with Julian, something is not right with Julian, and having no clue what it could be. So I decided to tell them, and I think that was the right decision because there were some things that changed afterwards that made a huge difference in my business. First of all, I remembered that an employee had actually suggested we meet every 2 weeks for half an hour for coffee and cake and not talk about business and just be ourselves and have some fun. Old me, like 5 or 6 months ago, would have said, what a waste of time. This is not efficient. We really have work to do. But new me, being in that vulnerable position and having just lost my wife, thought, well, maybe this is a chance to connect with my team on a deeper level and to really bond with them. And this is exactly what happened in the coming weeks and months, and it changed everything. To understand why this mattered, you need to know who I was before. Before my separation, I was acting a lot from fear. Fear of failing, fear of losing clients, and certainty was very high on my list. And if you know Tony Robbins and his 6 human needs, certainty is one of the most basic human needs. And I was basically operating from that all the time. And so I was able to build a 500K a year business, mostly by using push motivation and being stressed and overwhelmed a lot of times. And what added to that was AI, inflation, and an ex-employee actively poaching a lot of our clients. What I didn't know at the time was that my need for certainty and significance stood in the way of me being a much better business owner and leader. So I needed to control everything all the time. I was micromanaging, and it wasn't until I went to Date with Destiny from Tony Robbins that I learned that achievement without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And I was living proof of that. Trying to control everything just does not work. It doesn't work in our private lives, and it doesn't even work in our businesses. Yes, there are things we can do, we have control over, that's fine. But some things, they will just unfold in their own way, and we don't know before how it's going to unfold. So it wasn't until I learned to let go and live with uncertainty that everything changed for me and everything changed for the better. What I did is I started focusing on the basics, like my inputs, the structure, the systems in the business, and I was delegating more to the team so I had more time to process my separation, because that was very important for me to do. So one of the first things I did is I stopped following up clients so much. Because before I was afraid of losing them, I called them very often, I scheduled meetings because I really wanted to make sure they stick with us. But when I told the team that they could step in and do more and ask me less, they actually did. And they took care a lot of our clients, and they did it in a really good way. And I discovered the business actually ran better without me being so controlling all the time. So then in December, I flew to Date with Destiny in Florida to attend Tony Robbins' seminar. And it was an amazing experience. I didn't sleep a lot and it was very exhausting, but I did learn a lot of things about my value structure and my human needs, and especially the 2 dominant human needs in my life. So what I hadn't realized up until then is that I was mostly operating from certainty and significance. And while those needs are important, to put them at the very top is not the best thing to do because it creates a lot of stress. I was operating from anxiety, from fear. And at the seminar, I learned how to replace those human needs, my top 2 ones, with different ones. I actually actively chose to replace certainty with love and growth. It has made a big difference in the past few weeks in my business. Because when you operate from certainty, you take totally different choices than when you operate from love and growth, for example. And all of the sudden that bi-weekly coffee and cake made so much more sense because I was giving myself and the team space to actually connect on a deeper level to build a bond with them. So I'm quite sure that having had certainty and significance at the top of my list led to my marriage breaking down. Because I was compulsively checking my bank accounts all the time, every day. I was staring at my phone all the time. I was not present with my kids, with my wife. I was always in achievement mode and I was operating from push motivation, using a lot of willpower and not doing it because it was fun and it is something that was inspiring. So it was then and there that I decided to replace certainty and significance by love and growth. Then around 3 weeks later, I hopped into another plane, this time to Bangkok, Thailand. So here I was in Bangkok in December. It was warm outside. I loved the atmosphere. I was in a really beautiful hotel by myself, no screaming kids, and I had lots of time to do whatever I wanted to do. And the interesting thing was that I didn't go out sightseeing. Instead, I just took my iPhone camera and I recorded around 1 video per day. I just uploaded it on YouTube raw the way it was. I didn't care about the thumbnail and all of these things. And I also went through my Date with Destiny materials like the workbook, the value exercise, and my top 2 human needs. And I thought a lot about how my German business would need to change in order for it to align more with my new values and need structure. And that's when I realized what I really want to do is delegate more, become a better leader, and free up time so that I could continue recording these videos because this is what really makes me feel alive. I would actually pay for this in order to do it, and I'm actually doing it. There's no money flowing back from this endeavor at this point, but I'm having fun and I'm feeling very alive. And so what I did when I came back to Germany and we had the next team huddle, I told my team, look, you guys, you are amazing. When I went to Date with Destiny in Florida, you took care of our clients. You did it in a really good way. You didn't need me to be there all the time. You took some decisions by yourselves and you did a wonderful job. And here's what we'll do in 2026. You will be in charge of operations. I will be in charge of strategy and onboarding new clients like selling. And the rest is really up to you. This is actually a fantastic way to operate. I've been working like this with my team for the past few weeks and it has made a big difference in my business. So to summarize, the German business is now running better than it has before. And I was able to free up time to record these videos and to build an international coaching business. And all of that through more love and less fear. To summarize what has really worked in my case, going through the separation and going through that difficult time, first was to be really transparent with my team, sharing with them what was happening without oversharing. Second thing was that bi-weekly meeting where we have coffee and cake, asking my employees more often how they would feel. And actually the most fascinating thing is that every one of us goes through some difficult phases in life at some point. And even in my team, while my separation was happening, an employee also went through a separation. And one of my female employees, she just went through a divorce, so they could really relate to how I was feeling and I could relate to them a lot more. And the third amazing thing is that I uncovered how letting go and stop trying to control everything made a big difference as well. So separation really taught me we have no control over so many things in this life. So why stress over small things and always obsessing about what the bank account says or if a client has paid or not paid yet? I don't see a lot of sense in trying to control everything anymore. So the result of all of this is that I'm having more fun in my German business serving those lawyers, and I'm also having fun recording these videos. And in the German business, I'm trying new things I've never done before, and I'm modeling other agencies, but not just any agency, but the ones that operate from the same values and needs that I am. And this is really fascinating. It's a journey I'm on right now, and there's a lot of, I don't know what's going to happen, but this actually makes me feel alive, and I wonder why I hadn't had the guts to do that while I was still married. I don't know. I was just so focused on safety. It was crazy. So, and then my team becoming more of my family is amazing too, because they give a lot of stability as well, and I try to be part of their lives as well, and it's just an amazing journey, and I'm discovering more and more how fulfilling that can be. So if you're going through a major life transition like separation, divorce, or burnout, please know that there is a good way to go about it, and I actually developed a quiz. You'll find it linked below, and if you answer those multiple choice questions, they're very easy to answer. You'll find out where you're at risk of breaking either your business or your marriage if you're still in one. Also, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button or like this video, or both. It's much appreciated, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.